Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I want to remind you that our hurricane is back. Asterisk. Yes, that's right, the tropical storm, the tropical low, the hybrid, potential category 1 to 5 hurricane, whatever you want to call it, bro man. It's back on the models, and no matter what, I can guarantee you, at this point, around the 21st of May, the weather's going to get weird and wild. Where it's going to go, nobody knows. And I do want to take this moment to remind you that Thor News is a publicly funded channel. I spend 8 to 16 hours a day. Yesterday I spent 20 hours in that Hawaii video working and figuring out this data for you. And so, with hurricane season coming up, and me barely being able to pay my bills, I just want to remind you that you guys are the ones who help me keep this thing running through gifts and donations and contributions. So if you want to make a contribution to my PayPal, I'll leave a link in the box. If you want to send me a thank you card, that is awesome. If you just want to say prayers because you're broke like me, I totally understand. But being one of the most accurate hurricane reporters on all of planet Earth since Hurricane Matthew, yeah, I do great work. And so, I appreciate being rewarded for that work. No, I don't expect it. The only thing I really expect is for people to complain about stuff in the comments. Sometimes. Most of y'all are really great. Anywho, so I just want to make a quick video pointing this out. Yeah, look. Boom. Our little hurricane thing looks like it's back. And this has it making a direct hit on Louisiana. Because as I've said several times, I predicted 2+ landfalling hurricanes before last season started, and I'm predicting the same thing this year. America's going to get hit by at least 2 hurricanes, and this year's hurricane season could be worse, if not much worse, than last year. You know, we have the Alaskan volcano going off. We got the Hawaii volcano going off. It's pretty much like Puerto Rico's taking a major heavy hit. Hawaii's taking a major heavy hit. I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up, but we need to figure that out as soon as possible. And yes, we may lose some of the quitters and some of the whiners. They probably won't make it in the grand transition. But we can just do our best now to see who we can save. Because we are all in this together. Look at that. This is just... And people are like, why? What good do you provide? Well, do you know anybody else out there who has been showing you the alarming moisture levels a few weeks out? Yeah, I don't even have to justify my work, dude. I've been a complete and total badass. I'm getting so many things right, it's scary. But yeah, look at this. This is the moisture level that, when I'm saying no matter what, it doesn't matter if it's hurricane, tropical storm, or what the hell is going to happen, that these moisture levels right there are jaw-dropping, mystifying. You see that? That's rain. That's going to be a whole lot of rain. And remember that the volcanoes that are spewing ash, air, carbon dioxide, pressure into the air, it's going to be affecting our jet stream. So the weather is definitely going to be getting wackier. So look at all that moisture there. That's what I'm saying. When Mother Nature starts to ball that up, which she appears to begin to start doing 2 weeks from today, and then it has it hurling it. This actually splits it in two. Right there. And it sends it boom. So we might even get hit by a hurricane, major tropical storm thing before hurricane season even starts. So I don't know what else clues to tell y'all. You know? Yeah, definitely. You know, and then you got another, as Brandon Wi-Fi was pointing out to me, and then you got a little low system that he's been watching that kind of goes and hits Florida. But this is the main one I'm worried about right now. And it still may not be that bad because of wind shear. And I don't know what the temperature is going to be like then. But I would be prepared for anything because Harvey spun up from tropical storm to Cat 5 in 24 hours. And then we're still on a major earthquake watch from the Hawaii volcano lava caldera collapsing and emptying out. But yeah, look at that. There's your hurricane. Landfalling hurricane tropical storm on Louisiana, Texas. That's what it looks like right now. I'm going to put it in the title. It's probably going to make some people mad. And I literally do not give a shit. Because I'm here every day trying to get people to unite and showing you the weather changes that have been happening. I've been here for 5 years, even though this is not what I want to be doing, telling y'all that this shit was coming, that this shit is coming, and that we need to prepare for it. And so my message has been as relevant as any man on the planet for 5 years. I don't know how many things I've said that have come totally true. And so, you know, we're taking it up a notch. At some point, it could be a day from now, it could be 2 weeks from now, I may just shut off my comments and get rid of the thumbs up, thumbs down, because I don't really get paid shit for this. I barely have to make my bills. I have to beg for that after working non-stop. And so I definitely don't have the time and energy to deal with other people's shit or negativity. Because I'm going to be out here. We're about to start hurricane season. I remember last year's hurricane season. So things are going to get crazy. So I don't have time, and I don't want to deal with people's negative shit. And that though I still love you, I don't have to care about your opinion. I appreciate it. If you got a good one, I'd love to hear it. I don't mind disagreeing. But I'm saying that if I work 20 hours putting together Hawaii video clips, I don't want to deal with anybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? I did everything I could, basically. The assumption that nobody's, I'm just doing everything I can to help. And there are people out there who are not here to help, and they're going to do everything they can to obstruct the people who are trying to put it together. And so Thor News is for winners. And so if I got to scrape out the losers, I will. And if I just got to not even worry about comment section, I will. Literally, I don't expect anything from anybody. And that's what I'm dealing with. But we got a 989, which would, I think that might make it a Cat 1. So yeah, there you go. Your first hurricane, possibly, like I'd mentioned the other day, it's back. At this point, it has landfalling in Louisiana. And so, being your all-star from last hurricane season, I don't need people in the peanut gallery talking shit when they literally have no works or accomplishments in the same area. And I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm just laying it down right here, right now. As someone who literally spent 15 hours every single day without taking a day off when the hurricane started hitting last year and warning you guys ahead of time, I ain't here to put up with your shit. When I'm just trying to give you good information. So if you're going to have a garbage heart and spiral out, man, don't do it around me. I'm sorry you failed in life. I did what I could to help. Sorry I couldn't reach you. And I apologize for making this so angry. But I'm not angry. I'm just saying. There are 7 billion people in the world. I ain't your daddy. I ain't your babysitter. I ain't your boyfriend. I'm just a cool guy here, giving you very important information that you need. And here we go. Looks like we have the possibility. I know this is 2 weeks out, but it keeps showing it, so it's time to pay attention. And yeah, dude, and like I said, Alex Jones makes $54 million a year blaming everything on fish sticks and Hillary Clinton. Yo, if you want to buy me a burger or beer, that would be fantastic. And I deal with a lot of pressure. So like the once a week I have beers, people are like, oh my god, he had a beer. You know? I don't hear that shit. I'm a grown-ass man. I can handle my shit. And sometimes I gotta release some pressure just like a volcano. I guess this video is one of those things, but hey, yeah. Let's give you the information you need. So here you go. Stay cool. I love you guys. And I really do appreciate all the awesome ones. I know there are tons of great people at Thor News. There are tons of great people in America. There are tons of great people in the world. It's just with things becoming more unsettled everywhere, there are more angry people who are just looking to blame and blast people with their crap. And so if I'm going to stand here on the stage and do this for the next 4 months talking about hurricanes, I just want to let everyone know I got time for your shit, man. If you want to hand me a shitburger, I ain't having it. I ain't here for views. I ain't here. YouTube don't pay shit. I ain't here to sell it, but anybody anything other than information, and we need to come together as one family. Alright? So, that's cool. And always, at Thor News, I believe that JFK was the last president we had. So I don't buy into any political bullshit. Technically, I think it's all fake. So if you draw your identity from any politician, which seems easy because that means you don't have to think about anything, then Thor News is not the place for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's... If you're on the fence about whether or not you like this channel, it's time to get out. I do not want you here if you do not buy into the program of us all working together to solve these problems and challenges we have ahead of us. Ain't no quitters on this team, baby. Alright, stay cool. God bless everyone.
Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Wahara Ka Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I'm just on my way to work, but I thought I'll just do this quick video. Hey, because at the end of the day, the word hypocrite, alright, perfectly describes the nature of the so-called white man. In fact, matter of fact, I'm gonna look up the word hypocrite right now. Right, so this is the word hypocrite, right? It says a person who pretends to have virtues, moral or religious beliefs, principles that he or she does not actually possess, especially a person whose actions belie stated beliefs. All right, and case in point, right, look at the history of the so-called white man. He claimed he was a Christian, and under the banner of being a Christian, he claimed he loved his neighbor as himself. He claimed he loved everybody. He claimed he doesn't believe in murder, and the list goes on. But when this man, all right, took himself over to the Americas, when he took himself over to the coast of West Africa, when this man took himself anywhere on the planet Earth, he commenced to murdering, lying, and stealing for the cause of his own belly. And he hasn't changed in that effect. Yet he's still running around on the face of the planet Earth with the moral high ground shoved straight up his ass, man. Alright, they're still running around like they're a moral people, like they care about the children, like they care about murder. Alright, he's a hypocrite. It's number two, a person who feigns some desirable or publicly approved attitude, especially one whose private life, opinions, or statements belie his or her public statements. And that's the way of this man's society, man. Being fake. Alright? The scripture tells you what? The words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. This man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. So he pretends to be the hero when really he's the villain. He's fucking Emperor Palpatine, man. That's how this man rolls, man. He's a hypocrite. Right? And we could, you know, I could be here all day detailing the hypocrisy of the so-called white man. But what I want to show you is this this clip right here, right? And then we're gonna get the scripture, man, because see, all this hypocrisy is gonna lead to one thing and one thing only: the end. All right? And I got the killer scripture, so let's prove this. Watch this.
Theresa May and Emmanuel Macron have come under heavy criticism from British and EU lawmakers. The UK and French leaders were defending their decision not to consult their national parliaments before bombing Syria on Saturday. These are members of the European Parliament during President Macron's speech there. A large group held signs calling to stop the military strikes on Syria. We can now cross live to Nadira Tudor, who has been following the events today. Now, can you break it all down for us, Nadira?
Well, I'll do my best, Jackie. A lot has happened. Now, it seems that France's Emmanuel Macron and the UK's Theresa May are facing a pretty tough time retrospectively in trying to justify the airstrikes that they carried out in Syria over the weekend. Here's how the European Parliament members met with Macron. You can see that they were protesting against the action taken in Syria, and they were holding up placards which read, "Stop the war and hands off Syria." This was done during a speech that he was delivering in Brussels, and he was trying to explain the reasons why he decided to go in. And one of the things that he said about the justification, that it was conducted for the honor of the international community. Here he is.
Three countries have intervened for the honor of the international community.
These politicians are professional hypocrites. They are professional. They are well-trained hypocrites. They have the ability to go out there and push whatever side of the agenda it is. Yeah, that's how it works. You got the opposition. Well, put it this way: it's called the Hegelian dialectic, right? So you got the left and you got the right. All right. So you might see like somebody coming out and they'll have one position, and another guy comes out has another position, but really behind closed doors they both believe the same thing, right? That's like you get these Democrats and these Republicans, they act as if they're fighting against each other or you know, whatever the case may be, but ultimately behind closed door they're all globalists. They're all juiced in with the New World Order, so they're paid professional hypocrites. They're just playing a role. They're actors. You understand? That's why people get caught up in this shit. But these people are these politicians are the best hypocrites you can get. These dudes are Oscar level, man. Real life actors, man. They don't need no second take. They do it straight off the bat. All right?
In a legitimate, multilateral framework, in a targeted manner, without any human victims, not one, to destroy 3 sites of production and transformation of chemical weapons.
And he has faced a major backlash domestically as well when he was grilled on Monday by parliamentaries for not consulting them before those airstrikes were carried out. Some have accused him of being undemocratic, and questions were asked about the lack of evidence too.
We intervened without any particular goal, and what happened after has demonstrated that.
These strikes demonstrate the irresponsible behavior of the 3 global powers that yet again gave in to the temptation to play the role of world's policemen.
Bill Clinton attacked Yugoslavia by blindly violating international law. George Bush did the same in Iraq, and Barack Obama in Libya and Syria. It seems the evidence that made France decide to carry out strikes against Syria is partly based on information from social media.
Now, over in the UK, Theresa May, the UK's Prime Minister, has also faced a group of parliamentaries led by the opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn, and he has proposed changes, actually, a motion to a new act, which is called the War Powers Act. He said that that would ensure parliamentary approval if the UK did indeed want to take military action, unless it was a case of self-defence. May, of course, agreed that it would be appropriate to have the backing of Parliament as and when required. So there was a bit of verbal table tennis. It went on for over 8 hours on day one and pretty similar on day two. Let's listen to that verbal table tennis between the two of them.
Parliament should have, as an absolute minimum, enshrined in law the opportunity to ask questions before the government can order planned military action.
The elected representatives in this House should be able to debate the deployment of British military forces into combat. But that does not mean it is always appropriate.
The executive must be the servant of Parliament, not the other way round.
Members of this House seem to have less say in foreign policy of this country than President Trump.
Let no one in this House be in any doubt that neither I nor this government take instructions from any president or any other national government.
Whatever. Look, man. So my question is like, all these years the so-called white man has been pushing this democracy thing. You know, it's all about democracy. They run around the world blowing shit up, destroying everything for the cause of democracy. But here it is, even in their own countries, democracy doesn't exist. Because in America, you got the president pushing out executive orders like a Caesar. Yeah, going to war without consulting Congress. The same thing happening here in Britain, and the same thing in France. And ain't nothing gonna happen from it. Ain't nobody really gonna get in trouble. They're gonna make a hoopla and a song and dance about it, but at the end of the day, ain't really nothing gonna happen. But let one of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians fuck about and break one of Esau's laws, man. They're gonna come down on you like a ton of bricks. But these people don't even follow their own rules. These people don't follow their own rules, man. They transgress their own international laws, man. They break their own international laws like it's nothing. But let you break one of them laws and that's your ass. Okay, they can lie. They can make shit up. They do whatever they want, man. And as long as they got friends in the right places, it all gets covered up and forgotten about, and we're moving on. Right now we got a bunch of hypocrites reigning, man. These people don't have no virtues and no honor. They do as they want, man. Do as thou wilt. That's their spirit. All right. But hey, I got the scripture lined up for you. A bunch of hypocrites, man. All right. Job 20:5. That the triumphing of the wicked. In fact, let's start from 4. Knowest thou not of this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, man. So these people are going to be brought down, man. All right, their whole system is hypocrisy. Yeah, you got pharmaceutical. McDonald's cares about the children. Da 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 da. Fucking McDonald's, man. If they cared about the children, they wouldn't be selling McDonald's. These pharmaceutical companies, they care about your health. It's all hypocrisy. It's all lies. It's all BS. It's all bullshit. Acting. That's all it is. This whole society is based around lying, man. You know what I'm saying? Hypocrisy. Right? And it plays itself out from the very top, and it permeates itself through every strata of this man's society, even average everyday people. A bunch of hypocrites, man. Actors on social media pushing an ego or a belief of who they are, which is not really who they are. Whether they're trying to pretend that they're rich when they're really poor, trying to pretend they're hard when they're really soft. That's the nature of this society, man. And it starts from the top and it trickles its way on down, permeates its way through everything, man. This place is sick, man. It's disgusting, man. The hypocrisy's on another level, man. But I just wanted to show that, man. And just know that, hey, this man's going down. Point blank, the scripture is very clear that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reacheth unto the clouds. Yeah, they've been acting like hypocrites for hundreds of years, just winning. You know what I'm saying? Running around the world, stealing, lying, doing whatever they want. Meanwhile, promoting themselves as the hero, as the good guy. Just look at America. They actually, the average American actually thinks America is good. Like, they've been the world police. Like, they're doing good. They're trying to stop the world, you know, save the world from evil dictators and, you know, the terrorists. And when they're doing a bunch of bullshit. It's all hypocrisy. It's all lies. It's all acting, man. Oh, we're God's people and this, that, and the other. Nah, you're a bunch of devils, man. All right? Bunch of devils transformed into angels of light, man. That's what you are. All right? Hypocrites, man. Oh, the black Hebrew Israelites. We're evil, but the Israeli state can shoot up a bunch of unarmed Palestinians and none of you evangelical white Christians in America got a damn thing to say about it. Because you're fucking hypocrites, man. Let somebody shoot up a bunch of white people now. Oh, it's a problem then, right? Hypocrites, man. Now all of a sudden, oh, it's murder. Now all of a sudden you got an issue. So you got a selective conscience. You got selective morals, man. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he, man? You're all going down. All your politicians, your doctors, your lawyers. You got these lawyers, they'll know, especially these defense attorneys, they'll know full well that their client is guilty and they'll go out there and work to get the guy off the case, to get the guy off the hook. And stand up there in court trying to convince people that the guy is innocent when in their heart they know the guy is guilty. That's the kind of society we live in. For what? For filthy lucre's sake. For money. That's the best defense lawyers is the guys that can man, to hell with this place, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.
When it comes to debt, it is a mechanism that is used globally. I want to break this down so people can understand exactly what is going on here, because most people fail to see the trap that is put into place here across the board, even some of these big corporations. And what we have here is the IMF sounding the alarm on global debt again. And who is at the forefront of all this that they're pointing the finger at? The United States. Now, exactly 1 year ago, in its Global Financial Stability Report, the IMF had issued a stark warning when looking at the soaring level of private sector debt. Okay, that was the private sector. It had found that more than 20% of U.S. corporations are at risk of defaults once what happens? Once interest rates rise. And those whose earnings do not cover the interest rates, they're going to see a default. And that default across all those businesses, they said, could have reached $4 trillion. That was just the private sector. Now, do you see how it works? They get all the money in on these loans, and then they rise the interest rates on people out of nowhere, and they go into default. So, fast forward to exactly 1 year ago today, when the IMF once again sounded the alarm on debt, this time on the public side of the ledger. And warning about what? Excessive global borrowing. And they also note that with a total of $164 trillion of debt, that there's 225% of global debt toward the GDP. And by looking at other charting, you can see just throughout the years where the global debt is at, and it is at a new record high. So with all of this in play, the biggest warning that I can give everyone out there is to realize this. The world's public and private sectors are more in debt now than at the peak of the 2008 financial crisis, when the global debt to GDP had peaked at 213%. Your mainstream media is not talking about this now, are they? No, they're not. So you can go plug back into it if you want and let the real world melt away, or you can wake up and you can see what's happening here. But I wanted to let it be known this is what they're saying right now. I'm going to leave a link here with a lot more information that you can read up on, and I will update with more info as I come across it. It's been Dabu7.
First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Akim that's on the four corners of the earth preaching this truth, risking your lives to do so as we are coming near the end. Actually, this would be a lot better if I just took this off. Should only wear them for reading, but nonetheless, though, we're coming at that time, though, where we ain't going to be on the streets much longer, as you can see. Though everything's clamping down, I showed you videos here in Reading about how the city feels about the homeless, and these are homeless Edomites. Pretty much, man. When this thing goes south and all that, what do you think's going to happen to all of them if you see that the police are already fucking with them? Nah, man. You ain't going to be able to survive out there like a guy that could survive 22 years, man. You know, they're going to plow these places up. You already see Bethel Church here in Reading fucking doing that, bulldozing these places, so you know that martial law is coming, so... No, man, we ain't fucking running no goddamn FEMA camp and all that. And they already had martial law in Austin. They already did that during Hurricane Harvey. And none of those people ever come back. They were killing people in the shelters. That's what the guy said. That wasn't supposed to say that, but yeah, they're killing people in the shelter. That's why they didn't go to the shelter. Because, of course, you know, part of the Strong Cities Network. So we see that. More bullshit shootings in... terrorist suspects linked to ISIS, which, you know, this is all a hoax to get into Syria, because that's the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which means the Valley of Yahweh's judgment. You know, so it's all about that, you know, a reason to stay because Bashar al-Assad is winning the war on terror. So this is an older video camera that I just happen to have, you know, and believe it or not, to do the screen capture, I used this old mic, which was for an old tape recorder I had in the 70s, you know, Kmart tape recorder. You know, they just happened to survive many moves and all that, you know, because can't afford a new cam. Definitely, you know, as I said before, you know, I only get $863. I should be getting $991, you know, because, of course, I'm disabled, and... you know, just like Apostle Tahar was showing you them neighborhoods, and I'm in a poor neighborhood also, you know. You see how Reading is, 30% of its population is homeless. And I lived like a block or two from them fucking places, you know, where all these homeless people, and, you know, that it's frowned upon to be poor in this society. Because, of course, Edomites don't even treat their own good. You know, they'll say all kinds of shit to them, like, shut up before I hit you with my wallet, or get the fuck out of my way, you fucking bum. You know, and they're finding reasons to go off on them. So you think that when this all goes down that I'm actually going to try to go to them? No, I'm just showing you that what's happening, you know, and, you know, this setting off more events. And how soon until this place goes under martial law, until more go under martial law. People check in, but they do not check out, you know, and the mark of the beast is coming, you know, and, you know, more articles about it being mandatory in Maryland, that they're soon to be mandatory. So this being the year of prophecy, we're going to see a lot of things there. But I just want to test the camera and see if I could do something with this. The tape drive doesn't even work in it. It's just hooked up through my computer through a $40 USB device. So hopefully this is working. This is just a very short test video. Anyhow, stay tuned, man, you know, because I'm going to do everything I can to try to stay in the mentality of 3 videos a day, you know, as I, without even thinking about it, did 3 videos yesterday in one day, you know. So this is not the time to be slothful, you know. This is the time, you know, that we should go out on the 4 corners of the earth. And as soon as I get reapproved for Medi-Cal and get that reinstated, I'm going down to the San Francisco camp. And I'm going to get circumcised because I don't want to die the penalty of a uncircumcised death. Now this is the year of repentance, and this grace period is just about up. So I know I got to take care of business, and I'm just waiting on that. And here's where the patience comes in. And it's very nerve-wracking. I've been waiting almost 2 months on this thing. You know, I reapplied 2 months ago, you know, and just trying to figure out. So I already talked to a brother of that camp, you know, and, you know, we, you know, I know where it is. It's on Powell and Market Street, and, you know, it's a matter of trying to come up with the money to come down there. So I figured out that once I got the money taken care of, which is about $100 for a round-trip ticket from Reading to San Francisco, I can come down there on a weekend and then go to the camp, you know. But it's just a matter of being patient until I finally get reinstated and I start getting the whole 991. You know, like I said, you know, my finances are 825, and I'm only getting a check of 863, and there's still stuff that's cutting against that so-called 40 that's left, you know, little subscriptions here or there. So, that, you know, there doesn't leave you much, what, maybe 10, 20 bucks? Come on, man, you know, if it wasn't, you know, for the fact that my wife is pulling in her part, this is the bills that I'm left with. I mean, she's doing half the bills, too. This whole place would be $1,400. All right, this thing's fucking up. I gotta go. I'll talk at y'all later.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. And day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem.
So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Come behind this car! Do not come off of 94. Do not come off of 94. This is to a fight.
So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai, Ba'Shem Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders of the apostles of the great millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. A shout out to Yakim that's going out in the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth, risking your lives to do so. And well, what are we doing this for? Bottom line, what are we doing this for? Well, I can't think of any better passage than the one given here in John chapter 21 verse 15, so I'm just going to read it for what it is and then just build upon that. So when they had dined, Yahushua said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than thee? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, Lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, Feed my sheep. Very verily I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girded thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify Yahweh. And when he had spoken this, he saith unto him, Follow me. So, basically, it just comes down to this, just like that passage read, if we are the followers of Yahushua, and we teach in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash, what are we doing this for? If we are doing it for Yahushua, we have to feed each other. We have to feed the elect. Build upon precepts. Edify others, by, doing the work. Pretty much. If you're not doing the work, then you really don't care about Yahushua, nor do you care about his sheep, and you'd be better off, pretty much, as another channel put it, Yahushua is coming back channel put it, unsubscribing, You'd be better off unsubscribing, because this is all about being a doer of the word, not just a hearer of the word, We're not doing this as a popularity contest. We're not doing this for any other reason but to feed each other, those that will come into this truth, that will repent and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments given by the Most High. This is not a time for anything else. We're not a social network. That's why you don't see us on social media. You only see us here. And we're just trying to feed each other, feed the elect, And that's why he only needs 144,000. His elect, his real men. They're willing to go at any ends, We can make excuses all we want to, but, say you are in a dilemma like I am, The dilemma is that I know where the nearest camp is, but I don't have the funds, the gas money to get there, By the time I get my check of $863, my rent is $700. The insurance on the car is another $110, so that's already $810 accounted for. I have other bills. It's $100 round trip for me to get back and forth to San Francisco. But what can I do in the meantime until I can fix this dilemma, Go out there and teach. Feed the flock, Even though I'm in a small community and I'm the only one doing it. Oh, I'm not really the only one in the essence of there is this internet. It is what I'm doing, feeding the elect. Are we able to build upon each other? Are we able to lift each other up? Are we able to use the resources that we have, this internet, to proclaim this truth? So, that's a question we should all be asking ourselves. Are we using this resource, this time now, to edify each other, to build upon precepts, to build this kingdom up, Do we inspire each other? Is what I'm doing inspiration to others to want to keep going? That's what we're trying to do, is to encourage each other to keep going. Not to let the things of this life get us down, just because we're broke. Because I think that we're all pretty much in dire straits in the essence that we just have barely enough to survive, but we're rich as far as the kingdom goes because, we're willing to endure this thing to the end, Does it wax cold? Does it, are we falling into the categories of being lukewarm? These are the questions that we should ask ourselves. Now, other things that are going on, this being a year of prophecy, 2018, well, Trump's already out there, and it's on RT, that he's going to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal, meaning that they're going to freeze all their assets again, and pretty much going to restructure, going to rewrite a new deal, which basically, you know that you ain't going to get a better deal than the one that was already made, you know. So that's going to lead to World War III. You got the Israeli state, Amalek, saying that they're going to assassinate, going to kill Bashar al-Assad if he does not stop supporting Iran, you know, Hezbollah. Well, Hezbollah was invited by the Syrian government to fight the terrorists sent by the Israeli state, because ISIS always stood for Israeli Secret Intelligence Services, and so they have every right to ask for whoever wants to help. Now, Hezbollah was there even before Russia came, but now Begard unto them, Magog, is also the protection there. So Israeli state says that they're going to take out Assad, you know. They also are looking for regime change in Iraq, because they're also friendly towards Iran. And also because of Kirkuk. You know, Kirkuk is the YPG area, which are the terrorists, because that's where the safe haven has always been for the terrorist groups, is through the YPG controlled area, which is run by the United States and its allies, aka Babylon the Great. So you got all that going there. So you got all these armies, our enemies, fighting the Valley of Yehoshaphat. And they're about to make their moves against Tehran, especially with this nuclear deal. So we're watching prophecies unveil, you know. And of course we're telling everyone the RFID implant is the mark of the beast. And they're pushing towards that. They're pushing this mark now more than ever, you know, and eventually will be mandatory. People are being rounded up into FEMA camps. They start with the homeless. And then those, you know, that are incarcerated for life, obviously, they're moving them to FEMA camps because nobody's going to care about them, you know, because they look at them as prisoners anyways, you know, so they're already in the FEMA camps. You know that the prison system is already chipping people, you know, because how are they going to be able to resist that? They're already in prison, you know. So it starts out there, the poor and the already imprisoned. But eventually the government's going to start seizing houses. They're all going to be holding places before they ship them off to FEMA camps. You know, if you're in a place like Reading and all that, the houses are going to be seized upon. And then they're going to be putting them on the trains, moving them to the bigger FEMA camps. That's why the Walmarts were shut down during Operation Jade Helm. Which means Army After Next, you know, if I can, I'll try to forward the videos, because there was another Jake, who doesn't know he's a Jake, but he is a Jake, who had done videos breaking down what Jade Helm was. He had served in the military, and he put up those videos. His channel, I believe, is All Lives Matter. But he put up them videos letting you know what Jade Helm really stood for. That meant Army After Next. And he lets you know that the Israeli state has most of the nuclear weapons, that constantly the United States is shipping nuclear weapons into Israel, that Israel, which is Amalek, has the nuclear weapons. So we know all this is going on. We've seen them use the neutron bombs against Yemen, you know, and we've seen them use it against Donetsk in the Ukraine, you know, because of course Amalek is now desperate because they know that people want to get out of this borrow currency, the US petrodollar, so they're desperate to save it. That's what's going on here in this year of prophecy. Over the weekend, of course, Hawaii, you know, the volcanic activity, as well as in France, you know, and our camp is still strong in Hawaii, you know. On the main island is where that volcano had erupted and lava was in the streets. And things are going to keep on getting worse because the judgments are coming out. Our enemies are fighting each other, but during this time, though, also they're going to be coming out. They're going to hunt us down and they're going to try to take us out because we're in that time now. So the best we can do is utilize the time that's left. They're looking to shut down these communities. They're looking to shut down these YouTube channels. They've shut down mine many a times. You know, and they shut down other brothers' live streams. You know, anything that questions their narrative. Which their narrative, simply put, is that, you know, they're now trying to say that any dark-skinned man with a beard is a terrorist. You know, because we tell the truth that we're the real Jews and that they're the fake. They're the fake ones. But we've never threatened their lives, but we tell it as it is on the streets. But they want to label us domestic terrorists because our people are waking up as to who they are. And of course we're pissed off. These fucking bastards, because that's what they are, have stolen our identity. Have lied to us, have catfished us with our own Bible. Have made a totally mockery of us. And we're sick of it. That's what's going on. So of course, that's the beginning of Jacob's trouble. The beginning of sorrows. We're seeing that now as this thing escalates. The tariffs to hit in a couple more weeks, which is going to lead to the financial collapse. The financial collapse happens, there's no money left, places get shut down, and that's when the FEMA implementation happens. And during FEMA, mark of the beast, or die. Because they will have already taken the cities over. So I hope this has all been edifying, and the best thing we can do is build each other up. We're about to go through the worst time, for a time that there never was before, nor ever will be again. Shalom.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
يلا هاد بعد اذنك عين علي ايوه ظبط العلم يا ابني ظبط العلم يا
Come. علينا عليكم. محاصرين بالقوطة. لك كيلو السكر 17,000 بيعونه يوم. لك السيجارة 1700. كثير محصورين يعني. ما نقدر إذا بدنا نمرق نوقف ساعة على الحاجز شلون نمرق يعني كثير من الأقبية ما نقدر نطلع. كثير الوضع متأزم عنا كون يعني كثير. الحمد لله بفضل الجيش العربي السوري أخذنا حريتنا هلا وصرنا نعرف يعني صرنا ناخذ الأمان هلا. صرنا يعني شلون نقول نحس بالأمان. نحس بالأمان هلا. كانوا قاصريننا الإرهابيين. كانوا محاصريننا هون. كانوا خانقيننا خنق.
له على الشعير
لك كنا ناكل خبز شعير. قلد هيك شعير تعرفوا شعير. علف شيت المقمى شيت الدواب كنا ناكل.
شنو عن سيادة الرئيس أرسلوا لشعب دوما المضطهد اللي كان مضطهد من قبل الإرهابيين.
الآن ندخل إلى نفق. منار بالكامل. هنا حين تدخل السيارات مرآب لمصفات للسيارات. نعود نعطيكم صورة من هنا. هون تفريعة. هون تحياتك. كيفك شكرك تحياتي صح. أيضا نفق. هون المشفى على اليسار. هون المشفى. مشفى على اليسار. هون موسع التفريعة. هيك على اليمين طريق. هيك على اليسار أيضا طريق تصفيح.
يعني من اللي برا اللي عم يبعتوا مصاري.
شايفين؟
هون في تفريعة.
هون تفريعة.
تصفيح وتعميم كهرباء ونارة.
هيك تقريبا نزلنا 3 طوابق نحن تحت الأرض.
هلا نحن مسافة 15 متر تحت الأرض.
15 متر تحت الأرض. قديش أخذ وقت لبنائه؟
أكثر من سنتين.
سنتين هن عم يبنوا.
في نفق هون ما بيعش.
كمان في نفق ثاني؟
مو صار
كلها ضوء.
Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there on the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I just want to, oh boy, I just seen that. What the hell is that? The Rock kissing, oh boy. And man, I just want to do a video real quick on an interview done with the actor that starred in Altered Carbon, which if you don't know, it's a program on Netflix where they foresee a future that technology arises where you can download a person's spirit and their being, man, their memories and everything which is of them into like a device, and then that device can be inserted into different bodies, different houses, abodes. All right, so basically you can once you get old in one body, you can remove yourself from one body and put yourself into another, and then basically in the program, it was really a thing which only benefited the rich. So basically the ungodly of this world, because the scripture tells you what, these are the ungodly who prosper in this world. So the ungodly of this world, namely the elites, basically through technology and through their money, which they gather to themselves through evil covetousness, through wickedness and evil and a wicked oppression, through that money and the technology, they're able to reward themselves immortality, meaning they get to live in the flesh on this earth seemingly forever, as long as they keep having the money, all right, through that technology. And pretty much that's what Esau's trying to do. Esau is trying to find his way into immortality by any means necessary, whether from whatever area of science he could find it, whether it be genetic modification, whether it be robotics, whether he gotta try and dig up some lost relic somewhere, in a pyramid, or find the fountain of youth, which I'm not saying these things exist, which the fountain of youth is the scriptures, by the way, but I'm just saying Esau, he don't leave no stone unturned, man. You know what I mean? He's dead serious about being an immortal. Dead serious. All right. And yeah, that program is a good program because it pretty much shows you the reality of the situation, that the most evil people would be the one that would really be living forever. And you don't want that. Now, let me play this clip.
We lose our mortality. We also, this is,
jump back.
If I would take it because I think it's one of those dilemmas where.
What do you think? What's your personal stand on the issue? What did you think when you ethics of transferring your consciousness? Some Catholics and the neo-Catholics, I think they're called, are opposing the idea. What do you think? What's your personal stand on the issue? What did you think when you were reading the script?
Well, I think it's one of those dilemmas where if you would give me personally the opportunity to to extend my life, I would take it because I love living life, and I'm really curious to see.
First of all, this guy's never lived life a day in his life. This existence that people are calling life right now, I mean, that just shows you how low people have come on this earth. This is not life, man. What is going on right now is not life. It's death. It's an existence of hell. This is hell. Do you know what I'm saying? This is these people are delusional.
Where we as a species go on, but
honestly speaking, let's put the scriptures to the side for a second and have an honest appraisal of the rulership and the people and where you see the people would go if there wasn't divine intervention, you would really want to stick around for that? Because there wouldn't be no happy ending. Ain't no utopia at the end of this shit. This is what, this is the madness, man. These people want to live forever, but they don't know how to live. You wanna live forever in this degenerate realm. This place is degenerate. It's fallen. This world is fallen, man. This isn't what it's meant to be.
I do think that as a whole, it is very dangerous and that our humanity is completely tied to our mortality, and that if we lose our mortality, we also will risk losing our humanity.
Oh, no, that's not the case. Look, first of all, there ain't no fucking humanity. You look at all the wickedness and the atrocities which have been committed by men on this earth, man. There ain't no such thing as, these people are not fucking humane. And at the end of the day, the fear of dying isn't keeping these people in check. The fear of the Lord is what's supposed to keep people in check, but people don't fear the Most High. Yeah, this guy don't know what the hell he's talking about, man. Losing their humanity. Listen, their humanity is the reason for all of this madness, man. Now, the word humane means to be compassionate, to be good-hearted. These people are not good-hearted, man. Now, let me show you something, man. Proverbs 3:1. Because ultimately, immortality is, I don't care what technology you trying to scrounge together, right? No one is gonna achieve immortality, man. Because the judgment of the Lord, man, if the wages of sin is death. All right, there's only one way to achieve long life and even unto immortality, and that's through the righteousness of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because immortality is his gift. Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. So above technology and all this crap that these people try and elevate above the fear of the Lord, because the fear of the Lord is above technology, which, Lord will, I'm going to do a video on that. All right? Technology is not the end all and the be all, man. The end all and the be all is the fear of the Lord, his wisdom, the knowledge of what to do and what not to do, the discipline and the balance of life, for life to be maintained and sustained. These people are running with technology, but they don't have no judgment. They don't have no wisdom when it comes to what to do and what not to do. So what do? They end up destroying themselves, man. And that's been true throughout all history, man. The key ingredient that's been lacking on this earth is the fear of the Lord and the discipline which is in Yahweh Shai, man. Not technology, man. Technology ain't causing the issues. The lack of, or whether you got it, whether you don't got it, that's not the issue. All right? Because you can have the most base society and the most high level technological society. If you don't have the fear of the Lord and the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, guess what? You both going down in death and destruction. And dare I say, the one that's high technology, you're going to go down faster. Because you're going to destroy yourself, man. You know? But anyway, it says, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. So the length of life and long life, peace, these things come through through obedience, man, to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Oh, did I close it? Okay. Right, this is Sirach 19:19. It says, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. All right? The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. Yeah, he's the all power. All right? So the immortality, man, comes through what? The fear of the Lord, comes through the doctrine of life, which is of the Lord, and pleasing the Father, man. That's how you receive immortality, man. Not no damn technology, man. It ain't gonna work, man, because that's not gonna. Hey, the scripture says, the Lord said, I kill and I make alive, man. In fact, let's get that, man. You think you're gonna go around? What about the judgment of the Heavenly Father, man? You got some technology to get around that? You can't get around it, man. Deuteronomy 32, or is it 39? See now that I, even I, am he, there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So life and death is in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man. And you think you gonna go around the thing, man? You can't go around the thing. You can't go around it, man. The Lord set speed out here, man. The Lord decide who lives and who dies, man, and for how long. You don't get to set your own trend, man. Or you want to grant yourself immortality so you can so-called live forever, which you're not living. You're dying. You're just gonna be dying even slower than you was before. These people are crazy, man. They don't even know how to live amongst each other without stealing and murdering and lying and all manner of wickedness, causing manifold pain and heartache and suffering. But they want to live forever. It's this, oh man, it's madness, man. But anyway, it's gonna come to an end real soon. So, hey. Thank Yahweh Shem Yahshua that the wicked shall not achieve immortality, man. Immortality is the gift of the Lord and is given unto the righteous, man. The pure. So if that, I'm going to say shalom.
It looks like the struggles continue in Puerto Rico, as today we are getting word that there is an island-wide blackout across all of Puerto Rico. They're saying that right now they are struggling with an increasingly unstable power grid, and this is nearly 7 months after Hurricane Maria hit this U.S. territory. Now, they have an Electric Power Authority spokeswoman, Yohara Molina, told the AP that the crews were investigating the calls and that they said it would take 24 to 36 hours to fully restore the power. Now, this is the first time since that Category 4 storm hit on September 20th that Puerto Rico has experienced a full island-wide blackout. There's some 40,000 people without normal electricity as a result of that hurricane. So, in terms of this, they're saying the whole island has gone black again, and they don't know the cause. Once again, the people down here suffering tremendously. And we had witnessed different groups say they were raising money to go down there and help and do this and that. And we've also witnessed that none of that ever happened. It's sad. But this is the situation they're in. I'm going to leave a link. I will update with more as things change. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. It's been Dabu7. Peace.
Shalom. Apostle Hawk coming back at you once again with this truth, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai by Shem Rakah Kodash. Anyway, this is a continuation on the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and we are at the 4th verse. We're going to go into the Hebrew, and then we're going to read. We read the last verse that we read was the 8th verse, and we're going to read from the 9th verse, and let's see how many verses we can go into. But right now I'm in the 4th verse of Isaiah 14 in the Hebrew, and I'm going to pull out these key words. Okay, it says, first of all, I'm going to read the verse that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. And we know, based on what we already read, what was already read from the 1st verse to the 8th verse, that it's not talking about Nebuchadnezzar or his son, Belshazzar. It's not talking about them. It's talking about a future king, which we believe that that's got to be Trump, because we don't think that Trump, if Trump is not impeached or pushed out in any way, he would go on for the next 3 years, because he's a year in, and we believe, hope, and pray that this man leads, and he's the right man for the job, you know. So all power to President Donald J. Trump, because he, with his the way he carries himself, man, he's going to lead this sovereign nation, which is called America, into the Third World War, which is the War of Armageddon. Now, something can happen where he can be replaced and somebody else is pushed in, and, you know, we don't know. But, you know, that's how prophecy works. You read the prophecy, and then you see who it fits. Okay, yeah, that fits this guy, and that fits that guy. That's why the wicked scribes and Pharisees wouldn't acknowledge or admit that when the Lord came on the scene, that was the actual Messiah, because they kept questioning, does he fit the prophecies? Like they said, oh, well, he wasn't born in Bethlehem. He was born in Nazareth, which he was actually born in Bethlehem, went into Egypt, and came back and was raised in Nazareth. So what they were trying to do was trying to find scriptures to discredit that he was a Messiah. See, we know that he was a Messiah, number one, because he came from the lineage, the root, the seed of King David. So that proves that Joseph, his father, which his actual mother said that in Luke, the 2nd chapter, around about the 40th verse, it said that me and your father was looking for you. Now, why would she say that? And why wouldn't they have in parentheses, actually that was his stepfather? Because we all know that he didn't have an actual father. Well, anybody that's teaching that does not know the scriptures, or refuses to acknowledge and admit that the Lord had an actual biological father. And like I said, going to these Christians, man, these Christians don't know what the hell's going on, man. We are the only ones that have this truth. So he was born of a man and a woman, Joseph and Mary. And by the way, Joseph and Mary's lines both go back to King David and King Solomon. Okay, Mary didn't come from the line, or Mary's father didn't come from the line of Nathan, which was the brother of Solomon. So you gotta go through that whole genealogy again. Both Mary's father and our Lord's father both came out of the lineage of King David and King Solomon. But we're focusing on King David, all right? So like I said, read that whole lineup again. Read that whole lineage again in Matthew, the 1st chapter, and Luke, the 3rd chapter. And you would see that they both go back to King David and King Solomon's line. Okay, so now, oh, yeah, like I said earlier, he was born in Bethlehem. Bethlehem meaning the house of bread. Bayath, house, lacham, of bread. Bayath being the house, being the subject matter. What kind of house? A house of bread, which was also known as the city of David. So we know that our Lord sprang out of the tribe of Judah. Hebrews, the 7th chapter. He was hung on the tree, on the cross. That's a fulfillment of Psalms 22 and many other scriptures. Anyway, so we know that based upon going to the scripture, which is the law, the writings and the prophets, all these different prophecies on the Messiah, when you read these scriptures, point to that man that walked the earth 2,000 years ago. So we know that the Messiah already came and he's getting ready to come back again. Okay, so now let's go back to, I went a little segue, and I'm going to come back into the main subject. Like I said, when you read these scriptures are written in a symbolic, parabolic way, a coded way, because you just can't pick up the book and read it like you read a textbook or you read the newspaper. That's why you have all these different people teaching different things, have different opinions about what this scripture says and what that scripture says. We know exactly what the scriptures are saying. It says, Isaiah 14 verse 4, it says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. The king of Babylon is talking about America itself, but it's also talking about the ruler of America, which at this present time is Donald Trump. Even though there's rulers behind him, but the Most High is dealing with the person in the front, the forefront, which happens to be this guy. It says, and say, how has the oppressor ceased, the golden city cease? So this system oppressed us in chattel slavery, the transatlantic slavery, during the time of the lynchings and the KKK, during the time of Jim Crow, and even to this day. So we've been oppressed since we got over here, and we're still being oppressed. It says, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city cease? So now we're going to go take out some of these Hebrew words. It says, thou shalt take up, and the Hebrew word there is nashah, which means to take up, to lift, to carry. It says this proverb, because what proverb are we putting forth to these devils that they're going down? So how has the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? We go into a lot of scriptures and we go into a lot of articles about how this place is going down. So the word for proverb is mashal. And mashal means proverb, parable, proverb, proverbial saying, byword, poem, sentence of ethical wisdom. It goes on to say, against the king. And when we say against the king, we're talking about against this whole system. Now the Hebrew word there is malak. We should all know that word. Malak meaning king. Now if you were to say queen, for example, really queen means the king's prostitute, or the king's whore, the king's concubine, which that's not a positive word to call a woman. So if you call somebody a queen, you're really calling her Aho. Anyway, the feminine way of saying king or female king would be not malak but malaka. You would have the ha at the suffix of the word. Okay? So it says malak babal, and babal means confusion. H894, it means confusion by mixing. Babel or Babylon, the ancient site and or capital of Babylonia, situated in the Euphrates. And yes, that's where the ancient Babylon is located. Well, we're talking about this, the daughter of Babylon, mentioned in Isaiah, the 47th chapter, and it's mentioned in a couple other places. So this chapter, Isaiah the 14th chapter, is talking about America. It's talking about the condition that we're still in to this day, and it's talking about us. It talks about the kingdom, and it talks about how this man is going to be beneath us. It says Babal, it says and say, Amar, the word, Hebrew word Amar is to say. Now, if you use the word speak, I speak unto you, you would use the word debar. So to say something, you would say Amar. Like when you read the law, when the Most High came to Moses, it usually says Amar Yahweh al Mashah wa Yaikwab wa Aharon wa Amar Yahweh al Mashah wa Aharon, meaning, and the Lord said unto Moses and to Aaron. So the word for say is Amar, the word to speak is debar. See, as you go through these words, these Hebrew words, like with myself, it comes back, these words come back to me. I remember a lot of these words. Even though I'm rusty, I remember a lot of these words. Like when I saw Babal, I knew it was the Babylonians. When I saw the word Malak, I knew it was king. When I saw the previous video, I came across the word Yahweh, I knew it was the Most High. Okay, so it says, and say, so we are to say, how hath the oppressor, now the word oppress, and we came across this word oppress in the last video, and that's Nagash. Nagash means to oppress. And the next word is Shabbath, which means to cease. And by the way, this word cease, Shabbat also means Shabbath also means rest. Because if you're working and you stop working, what are you doing? You're resting. You're ceasing from doing work. So when you look this word up in H7673, Shabbat means to stop what you're doing. If you're working, stop working. And it also means to rest. It goes on to say, Mada Haba, which means the golden city. Now this word golden city means a city that's on top of every other city. because the word for gold is Za'ab, if I'm not mistaken, which you don't see Za'ab in this word, Madahaba. Yeah, the Hebrew word for gold is Za'ab. So, and which will lead you back to, if you go to the root of this word, Madahaba, it leads you to the word Dahab, which leads you to the word Zahab, which is gold. So Golden City is boisterous, raging behavior, Golden City, exactness of gold, meaning it's a city that everybody wants to come to. And this word is written only one time in the scriptures, and that's Isaiah 14 verse 4. Now, if you go to the word Za'ab, you'll come across that word many times, which means actually means gold. And that's Babylon. Now, when you read Revelation 18 chapter, it goes into detail of how Babylon went down. It goes into detail of how the music's, you're not going to hear any music, you're not going to have any slaves, you're not going to have any souls of men. You know, it goes into how this place is going to totally go down. So when you read in Isaiah the 14th chapter, in your mind should be Revelation the 18th chapter. And it goes on to say Shabbath, which means cease, meaning stopped. So now we're going to read on. We're going to go back to the 5th verse now. It says, Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, meaning this system's going down. That's why you have the China and Russia, they're doing deals not involving the United States. You have these these alliances of these different nations. You have a BRIC nations, which the BRIC nations stand for what is it? It's acronym BRIC. What is it? The BRIC nation: Brazil, Russia, well, I can't even remember them. Oh, India, China, and the S is for South Africa. So the BRICS nations, these are a handful of nations that are making deals amongst themselves and not involving America. You know, there's big talk about the petrodollar, which is the world reserve currency. Now it's really better known as or more popularly known as the petrodollar. And this is why, when you do the research, the U.S. Attacked Iraq, because what they wanted to do was they didn't want to no longer deal with the petrodollar. I believe they were trading in euros, so they were supposed to take their money, convert it into U.S. dollars or FRNs, Federal Reserve notes, and then transact with that. I mean, that's a whole another subject. So that's what these nations are doing. They're that's no longer respecting the U.S. They see that the U.S. or America or Babylon the Great is dying, and ultimately, what they had on the news for the last couple of days, and it's final that all the Toys R Us are just they just went bankrupt, and I believe that's Chapter 11. Bankruptcy, look that up, where they're just going to close down all the stores. And they spoke about over 30,000 people will lose jobs when all these Toys R Us stores are closed down. So this place is done, man. Okay, 5th verse, Isaiah 14 verse 5. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked. Now we know when you come across the word wicked, Malachi, the first chapter, read the whole chapter. The wicked is equated with Esau, the Edomites. Your staff is what? Your power. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked. Who are the wicked? You Edomites. And the scepter of the rulers. Who? The rulers of who? The rulers of that are Edomites. It says 6th verse, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. So it's only going to get worse for this place. All we are spiritual weathermen. We're just giving you the forecast of what's going to happen to this place. It said the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, 8th verse. The fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. And that's your let me click on that, because Apostle Gabar always speaks about this. No fella, and I just want to confirm it. The word there is karath, which means to cut, cut off, cut down, cut off a body part, cut out, eliminate, kill, cut. It means a cutter of trees, to cut down. Okay, where am I? Okay, the 8th verse again. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee. And this is Esau. When he cuts down the trees, the term is deforestation. Now, forests are trees, abundance of trees, and we get oxygen from the trees. So when you cut down trees, that's a lack of oxygen. See, the Most High made the earth perfectly, but Esau wants to make the earth his own way. That's why he has to be, taken out. It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. And that word fella means somebody that cuts something down. In this case, the trees. Deforestation. And like I said, these Christians will never get these scriptures in a million years, in a billion years, in a trillion years. They'll never get it because the Most High didn't open your eyes to these scriptures. It says in the 9th verse, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Now let's deal with that. Hell, now the word hell is sha'awal, which means the grave. The grave, if somebody dies, they put you 6 feet under. That's what they do in this system. But the grave also means a dead state, a low state. because you have one nation or one sovereign that's in power, and the other nations have to bow down to that nation's will. That's why when you check out most of these countries, their presidents or their prime ministers are set up based upon a democratic process. Why? Because Esau's in power. And he says you got to go by the rules. If anybody wants to fly a plane and dealing with flying planes, I can't think of the other word, aeronautics, you have to, the captain of the plane and the second in command of the plane and the stewardess, they all have to know how to speak English, because that's the language, the international language of aeronautics. To speak English. Why? Because English is supposedly the official language of the United States. See, all the power is coming out of the U.S. The people behind the scenes are the top elite. Anyway, it says hell, meaning all these nations are in a deadened state, because when you go to these different nations, they don't know their biblical nationality. You got people that don't know that they came from Japhet, or don't know that they came from, like you have the Sudanese, which are the actual people of Mizraim, which they're directly south of the land that you call Egypt. And they don't even know that they're the Egyptians. They look just like the Egyptians. Real tall and real black. When I say tall, I'm talking about super tall. Mizraim was known for their stature, their great stature. It says hell, meaning that low, deadened state from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Meaning as you're going down, these nations are coming up, and they're remembering what you did to them, how you looked down on them. It says it stirreth up the dead for thee, because we're known as being dead in Revelation 11, but the other nations are dead too, because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. The so-called Chinese don't know that they're Moabites. None of the Africans know who they are. If you get down to it, they don't know that they're the Canaanites or the people of Mizraim. They don't know that their line goes back to Ham. It says, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. Who are the chief ones of the earth? These leaders of these other nations. Now, what's big in the news now is the so-called black Africans, and even the courts agree with the so-called black Africans that they want the white South Africans out of the land. And if they don't leave, their plan is to kill them. So the nations are angry. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Going to read a couple of verses, then we'll close. It says, and see these chapters, when you go into chapters, it makes you think of other verses, other precepts. And this is something that our high priest Ariel used to go into. And I do that too. I got to do it a lot more, where you go into whole chapters and then you go into these precepts. It says, 10th verse, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? What scripture should come to mind? Joel, the 3rd chapter, the 9th verse. Art thou become like unto us? It says in Joel, let the weak say I am strong. And what's the great equalizer? The ICBM missile, that technology. 11th verse. We'll read to the 12th verse. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. The noise of the vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Now that's talking about corrosion. Your bridges are falling. Matter of fact, earlier today in Florida, there was a bridge that was built up, a footbridge, and it just collapsed. It collapsed. It killed a bunch of people and injured a bunch of people. And they're finding out that these bridges were built to last 50 years. And when they started building these bridges was the early 50s. So basically you're almost 20 years, beyond the expiration point of these bridges, and you don't have money to build these bridges because it costs billions of dollars to build one bridge. So what they do is they try to maintain the bridges, but there's pieces of the bridge that fall down, kill a couple of people. They have to close the bridge at certain times. Certain buildings are crumbling. These buildings are crumbling. And you need money to maintain these buildings. And every so many years, you have to tear buildings down and build them up again, or build new buildings. So when you keep your eyes on the news, and especially the alternative media or alternate media stations like on YouTube, you get this information, and a lot of people are going to alternate news stations to get their information because they see the American press is pretty much fluff. Anyway, it says 11 verse, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm, which is corrosion and corruption, is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. 12 verse, and I'm going to stop on that. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now, this word Lucifer, or O Lucifer, is controversial because when you hear the word Lucifer, you think of the spiritual demon Satan. You think of witchcraft and Satanism, and you worship the devil. No, the word Lucifer simply means someone that has the light, that carries the beacon of light. And for so many X amount of years, this Edomite in his power seat has the beacon of light. That's why at one time, everybody and their mama from different countries dreamed to come to America. There's a reason why you have the so-called Statue of Liberty out there in the harbor. And when the so-called immigrants came in, they all passed that lady in the harbor, the so-called Statue of Liberty. And at night, that light goes up. That's the beacon of light. That's Lucifer. Lucifer merely means light bearer. If all of us is stuck in a cave or there's a blackout and I'm the only one with a flashlight, guess what? That makes me Lucifer. I'm the light bearer. It doesn't mean the spiritual demon Satan. Anyway, the ones of you that have been in this for years, you already know. You got look when you learn these scriptures, you got to put that goddamn emotion, that motherfucking emotion, in the back door in the closet some goddamn way, or in the garbage. Because you got guys that they're gonna get messed up. No, brother, it's talking about, see, you believe in Satan. And that's why this truth is not for everybody, man. That's why the Most High is only dealing with the elect. Anyway, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And when you click on the word, it means old day star, which is the bright and morning star, the first star that you see in the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And that's what when these devils were in power, because their blessing was given to them by Yahushua when he was Isaac. And what blessing did he give him? He said, I'll give you the sword, the power of the gun, the power to cut people down and killed people. And how did this man take the world? He took it by violence, man. Columbus made a statement. When you go to Columbus quotes, one of the quotes that he made was, he said, when he came over here to the New World, he hadn't put his sword down not for an hour, meaning he was doing so many killing, he didn't even put his sword down. Anyway, that's it on that. We'll come back and we'll read another verse in the Hebrew, or I'll read another verse in the Hebrew, and then we'll go further. So when we come back, we'll go into the 13th verse. And Isaiah, the 14th chapter, is 32 verses long. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say